Boxing, we're back. Post-fight review. Joe Joyce stops Carlos Takam in round 6. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, positive or negative. We always love a debate. Got it slightly wrong. Obviously, got the right result. We picked the right winner. But Joe Joyce, an impressive style, you have to say, stops Carlos Takam in round 6. You know, Carlos Takam came in very good condition. Looked good for those first couple of rounds, but then, you know, the juggernaut just kind of wore him down with good work rate, and I think clipped him in the 6th round. And then, yeah, with lack of punches coming through, obviously, the referee stopped it. What did you make of it?
I was, I think just three things for me. One, Joyce got caught far too many times, and it made it quite close to me on the scorecards. I think you probably leaning a bit more towards Joyce. I had it pretty close. I might have had Joyce 1 up going into that what was the final round. But he kept taking too many shots. Never looked that bothered from them, but he kept taking them. And one day he's going to get like a cut, and then it'll be change the ball game. 2, I think Takam probably has come off the cliff a little bit. Now, I think after the 5th round, he looked done. Yeah, on this stool. And I know he put a lot of work in, but you know, the Takam that fought Chisora would have had at least another 4 or 5 rounds in him. Yeah,
he's dangerous for those first 4 or 5 rounds, I think, isn't he? And then
yeah, and he just looked done.
Catches up.
And then I suppose it was the stoppage. You know, that's the debate. Kind of, you know, was it too early, or whatever, and. I mean, it was a weird shot. It was quite a sneaky. I think it was a left hand that caught him. It seemed a little bit of nothing. It happened so fast. I didn't even really see he caught him. And then he went backwards a bit, and then he went to go forwards, and his legs seemed to just go. And it was, you know, he was obviously rattled, but it might have been that little bit of tiredness as well creeping in. And then he was just riding shots. And for me, it was slightly premature, though I don't think it was over the top, and he was asking for it to happen because he wasn't throwing back.
No.
And his head was rocking back, and he had blood coming from him. But I don't know if it was me, I may have let it go on another 5 seconds. I know that's sometimes dangerous, but you know, kind of is what it is. How did you see the stoppage?
Yeah, I'm a bit like you. I did think it was just a tad early. I would have liked to have seen maybe another 10, 15 seconds just to see. But I think Takam wasn't throwing anything back. And when the head gets sort of rocked back, that's when the referee just feels like he needs.
It's not a shocker or anything like that. It was just slightly on the wrong side.
Yeah, I agree.
But also Takam can't over complain. I know he's complaining, but he didn't throw anything back. You know, he was clearly wobbled. He didn't throw anything back for a good 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds. I don't know. I'm counting. And you know, right just before, you know, his head did go back a couple of times, and he looked a bit of a mess. Yeah, but a weird one, really. It was almost like I was impressed that he got him out there. Someone said to me he wins in the 6th round. I'd have been, that's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah.
But then it's only when you see the fight, you have a different view. So I was disappointed by how many shots he took. Though I knew some of that would happen. It was probably a few more than I expected. Because he nailed it. He finished in the 6th round. He didn't really get a shot in on the 6th round. So for 5 rounds, he must have nailed Joyce, I don't know, 17, 18 times.
Yeah.
The right hand. Some flush, some not so flush. He can take them, but one day he's going to start getting cut or be hit by someone that just holds out a bit more power.
Yeah.
And though it might not drop him, it might rock him, and then he's up against the ropes. And you can't get away with that forever, I don't think.
No.
But yeah, it was almost like, it looks good on paper, 6th round, but he took too many shots. And I do think Takam has gone off the cliff a bit.
Yeah. His boxing skills, like in terms of like head movement and defense, I mean, because he's got such a good chin, it's almost like he doesn't necessarily need a good defense. But you're right, against somebody who's a lot more skilled, like, and by the way, there's far more, better skilled heavyweights out there. And that was always quite strange for me, why they were calling out Usyk. It's like, right, we need to find Usyk. Usyk's next for us. And like, I just think Usyk beats him every day of the week. I don't see how Joe Joyce beats Alexander Usyk. I just think his footwork is a nightmare. Probably wouldn't stop him, but you know, Usyk's skill is
getting anywhere near stopping him. But it's, no. I mean, I think his jab's difficult, and his jab's going to be hard to get around. And if you fought someone like AJ, that jab will cause AJ some problems. But if Takam can land, you know, 17 shots on him in 5 rounds, what's Joshua going to do?
Yeah.
Because not only is Josh hit harder, he's got a different variety. He's quicker than Takam, got a better reach. So he's probably going to land far more. And Joyce may take them all, but his face is going to be a mess. He'll have swelling. You know what I mean? And it's not just about not getting knocked out. It's about cuts, swelling. It'll slow you down more.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It was almost like great result on paper, but I'm left a bit like semi-disappointed, really.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same. But he is now kind of on that peripheral now of kind of world title contention, along with the likes of Dillian White and Andy Ruiz Jr. kind of ready to just sort of step in for that. Here's a question for you: who would you, if
I knew
tomorrow,
I was going to ask
Dillian White versus Joe Joyce, like who would you be picking in that?
Oh, that's a good one.
Very unlikely to happen, I know, but I think Joe Joyce is just going to coast now until he gets his world title shot.
Yeah. I think it'd be very tight on points.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone being I don't see anyone knocking anyone out. And it could go either way on points. It may just go towards Joyce on points because of the jab.
I think so.
Yeah, I think White will probably land some big shots in, but I think they'll just bounce off again a bit like that. Yeah. But I think it'll be very tight, and it could go either way. But
he sometimes looks untidy though, doesn't he, Joe Joyce? Like
I think White does.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at one stage, about I think in the fourth round, or maybe the third, he seemed to be a bit cumbersome on his feet, and I thought, is he wobbly here?
Yeah.
He isn't. It's just the way he kind of
it just looks
moves.
But looks a bit,
But Dillian White has that. I think the thing with Dillian White is what I think it may go towards Joyce on points is Joyce almost slowly turns up the gears. We didn't really see it tonight because it was over beforehand.
Yeah.
But he just slowly goes up the gears, and I think White would start fast, but he's always struggling towards the end of the fight, isn't he, White?
Yeah.
So the momentum's moving the way. But very tight. So I do think because Joyce's chin is awesome, I think he is up there and he is dangerous. Because if I'm leaning slightly towards him for White, then he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
But if he didn't have his chin, White would clean him out.
Yeah.
That is the thing. And I suppose we're bigging up his chin. Has he been hit by the best yet? Has he been hit by the biggest hitters yet? So how good is it? Who's the biggest punch he's taken? Dubois, I suppose. But we don't quite know how hard Dubois is.
Yeah, and Dubois caught him clean as well. That was actually when that was the first time because I knew that he'd always got a good chin, and I knew that so
that's when it's elite.
AJ. But when I saw him take that shot, I was like, okay,
But he wasn't taking like a few of them around. He didn't take loads and loads of those big shots. There was a few that got in. So if someone like AJ or White's landing 3 or 4 of them around, how long does that last for?
Yeah.
But yeah, his chin's going to definitely help out. Who would you? Because we've just seen the interviews there. They say he's mandatory. He's not technically because Usyk's mandatory, and then he'll be the next one in line, which will be back end of next year, maybe even the year after. So say it will be in a year's time. What would you do? What would you do if you were them? Who would you put them in with? Say you've got to cover 2 fights.
They've just got to kind of keep them busy with nothing too sort of risky. So you're talking about fringe top 20, top 25 guys. Like Helenius is and people like that. Or maybe not even as dangerous as that. Just to kind of keep him busy, keep him sharp. He's not obviously young, but he's not old. He's 36. But
Price,
he's going to get another.
The thing with Price is he could take that thing because of his chin.
It's just too risky though. Like for those first 3 or 4 rounds, like Price catches him.
Is it a massive risk with a chin like that? Normally, I'd agree. I'd be like, if this was just your normal fight.
I don't think he needs that work. No. If you're managing him, you go with somebody who's not.
I am thinking more of a fan, probably.
Yeah, I think a Marius Wack or something.
Who would you like to see him in if you can't fight Josh?
Well, David Price would be good. Yeah.
Or Dillian White.
I think Dillian White. Yeah. I mean, if I fantasy matchups, I think that's a very intriguing fight there. Never going to happen. Even the Daniel Dubois rematch, I wouldn't mind seeing. It was an intriguing fight.
And what would you do with, what do you think for Takam now?
You've got to say that's kind of it now, isn't it? You know, he's the wrong side of 40.
I think you've got to say that. I get the feeling it won't be.
No, probably not.
I
mean, he looked good for those first 2 rounds. I mean, I gave him the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Looked in great condition. He's got, you know, he's a problem.
I think he's showing though he's only got half a fight in him.
Yeah.
Especially at that pace that it was going at. But yeah, I get the feel because he was so peed off, he'll talk himself into the fact that I was doing really well and I got caught, but I was all right and I got stopped early, so I'm ready to go again. So you'll probably see him again.
He's a warrior, but I mean, yeah, you know, who's to say he's not going to keep going for another couple of years? But yeah, all right, let's wrap it up. Next week we're going to do predictions for Fight Camp, and then we need to do a prediction for Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence.
Is that
going to be coming up as well?
When's that?
I don't think it's next week. I think it's in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll need to do a prediction for that. And then, any big news that drops. Thanks everybody for listening. All right, we're out.